Welcome to Guns and Gear Network, everyone. Thank you for tuning in today. I'm going to bring you this tabletop review and discussion about perimeter alarms. And when we talk about bugging out or camping or anything like that, a lot of times what gets brought up is perimeter security, because you got to sleep sometimes, depends on, if you had some people to do watch, whatever, but you also might need some type of an alert system. And I don't mean in, always in a bug out situation. It could be you're just trying to protect your camp from predators. Maybe you are camping in bear country, maybe you're camping where there's wolves, other predators, mountain lions, whatever the case, and then you might have a situation where you're trying to protect maybe some gear or something else that you're trying to keep the bad guys away. So doesn't always have to be the zombies you're trying to keep out. Could be just, again, just normal camping trip with your kids, and you want a little more security around your camp. And so there's been quite a few discussions and YouTube videos and things like that about perimeter alarms, and there's a few that's popular, and we'll discuss those. One in particular is this style. This is one of the inert grenade tops that you take and drill out the old primer that's already been spent, and you drill it out to be able to accommodate a 209 shotgun primer. And then you set the hammer, put the tripwire to this, the pull pin, it would then fall and then hit the 209 primer. Now, this is a decent concept at best. It does pretty good. The problem I have with these is a few. They're not really that loud. A shotgun primer is okay. It's not, super loud or anything. It's just a primer. So it has its limits when it comes to decibels. Well, the other issue that I have, because it's a one-shot pop, if it goes off, especially, you're going to have to keep this at fairly close distance to your camp, in my opinion, to be able to hear it, to realize that was definitely your alarm that went off. So that's the problem I have with those, and then it's a one-shot pop. So if it's at distance, you're going to think, okay, was that my alarm? Maybe was that a limb falling? Something like that. So they're okay at best. They do serve a purpose, I think. Obviously, I have some, but I wanted to talk about that for a second. Then one of the other more popular ones that's floating around the internet, that's been discussed in different videos. That's part of the reason I didn't do a video about any of these, because they've been talked about so much. This one is another very popular one amongst the prepping channels and camping places and things like that. And this is the Dollar Tree alarm. These normally come white. I've spray painted this one with OD green paint, and pretty simple concept. They have a magnet here that's that makes a connection with the alarm here, and then once these two separate, it goes off. A few things I have problems with this one. It's a button battery, which I'm not a real big fan of. They can be dropped easy, lost, whatever, if you're trying to fumble around and switch out batteries, whatever the case, and they're a little harder to find sometimes than a traditional battery, like a 9-volt, AA, AAA, those kind of batteries. So you'd have to keep some extras on hand and make sure that you had those, because you just couldn't run out to a store while you were camping in, bear country and grab some. Normally you would probably be able to find the 9 volts and C batteries and stuff like that at a local store, but maybe not the button batteries. So that's the problem. The other problem is these are okay loud. I think they claim about, 90 decibels or something, so they're fairly loud. And we're going to demonstrate this one here, because I want to do some comparisons with the one that I found. So if you're wearing headphones or earpieces or anything, make sure that you're turning the volume down, because this could get pretty loud with a couple of these. So let's take a look. You've got a switch over here for on and off. The concept is you have this attached. These are normally used for like doors and windows. So you would attach this to the frame of the door or the window. This piece here would be attached to the actual door or window itself. If it was a window and you were sliding the window up, it breaks contact. If you're having a door, it would break contact when the door's opened. So let's go ahead and cut it on. It's got an on-off switch on the side here. If you notice, it's not going off even though I have it on. Well, as soon as I move this away, it goes off. And it's somewhat loud, don't get me wrong. So, especially interior, this would be pretty loud in a house. Outside, it's okay. So that's kind of the situation with these. If you're just looking for something cheap and inexpensive that you want to try, more than welcome. Buy a few of these and give them a shot. The other issue I have with these is they're not always dependable. I've had some that were dead on arrival, DOA right out of the box, and then I've had some that are not as loud as others. I don't know why they can't get that right. So some of them are loud, some of them wasn't, different things. So again, quality control, but you're only paying $1 for them at the Dollar Tree. So I got to looking around on the internet what some better options were that wasn't just, crazy expensive. And I stumbled across this product here. It's the Personal Protection Alarm by Streetwise Security Products. So got to looking around once I found them and read some reviews and thought, this may be a good product to try. And I found a company called ISpy Defense, and I will post all that in the section below down there if you would like to buy these. I purchased these myself. They did not send them to me free of charge or anything. I purchased them to try them out. So the good thing about these, I bought 4 of them for $23.80 including shipping. So they're still not just crazy priced. Not as cheap as $1, but they're still $23.80 including shipping for all of them. And believe it or not, that included Energizer batteries for each of them. So they did send Energizer industrial batteries for each unit that I bought. So this one, I'll show you. It says it's 130 decibels. I have no reason to doubt that. This thing is super loud, and I'll demonstrate it here in a second. It says it scares off attackers, summons help, also protects a purse, briefcase, or backpack. That's what we talked about. You could actually attach some of this maybe to some gear or something else you were trying to protect. So let's open one up and take a look what you're going to get. So, pretty simple in design, just a standard plastic box. These are not waterproof, just like these wouldn't be, so you would have to get creative in figuring out a good way to make sure they're waterproof, and we'll talk about that as we go along. Notice this has a lanyard that you would attach to something. It actually has a little clip here, where if you want to clip it onto your belt, you could do that, or whatever. And concept is real simple. Again, tripwire style, but this one has a pull string for people wearing it as an alarm itself. Just simply pull and it goes off. There's no on-off switch on this one, so the only thing that keeps it from going off ever is this pull tab only. Like this one has the on-off switch. This one does not. So the little pull tab has to be inserted so it does not go off as long as the battery's inserted. So it comes with this belt clip, and I took mine off to make it work, and I'll show you that. To take this off, all you have to do is turn it in one direction like that, and it comes off. It's kind of a little hinge type tab, little cam style. So you'd put it in if you want to put it back on, and then you would just turn it like that to lock it back in place. Now it won't come off. So I took mine off to make it work, and what you do is it has 2 little tabs down here on this bottom side. Just need to take, and as you're pushing down on those tabs, kind of pull this plate back and it'll come off. So that's what you have. It comes on the inside here. It comes with 2 screws in this bag, and what those are for is once you get this put together with the battery in, you screw this down. I don't really see any reason to screw it down because it does have these little locking tabs, so I don't really see no reason, but it does come with those 2 screws if you want to do that. Again, 9 volt, you just simply put the 9 volt in here and shut it up. In a 9 volt battery, the shelf life on some of these are going to be really long, especially with the good quality batteries like an Energizer. You could probably get about, a 7 to 10 year shelf life out of the batteries, so you don't have to worry about them dying out on you. But once you stick the battery in, you just find the tabs that match up. You start at the top though, and just then slide it down, and it snaps into place. And so that's not coming off, so no real reason to put the screws in my opinion. So again, I warn you, if you are wearing headphones or anything like that, or maybe you're at work and you're listening to the volume, I would cut the volume down, and we'll compare these 2 side by side now. And I don't even know how to explain the sound other than A, it's loud, and B, it almost messes with your inner ear. It's so loud, and the frequency and the pulse rate and stuff like that. So let's listen to this one. It is deafening loud. And like I said, they've hit it on the nail on the head with the actual frequency and the pulse rate and all that with this thing. It is annoying as everything. I took this outside in my backyard, set it off, and walked, and I just kept hearing it for a long ways, probably 50 yards or more. So something like this, man, it is great. So let's see how I rigged one up. I put it on a tent stake. Now, what I did was I took duct tape and I sealed this back here. Where now that you took this off, even if you didn't take this off, that's not going to be waterproof at all. So I went ahead and sealed this off with some duct tape. And then in order to stabilize it, I'll be honest with you, these are much easier to stabilize because they go long ways like this. If they were like this, and it pulled to the side, it doesn't really, it's not as easy to attach it to something. And that's kind of the problem with this, is you're having to do it the long way like that. And so what I did to stabilize it and make sure it was secure is I used zip ties and I crisscrossed them. I tried just running one single one around it. It was not secure enough. I was afraid that it would actually pull off, and I didn't want to do that. So I know this is secure now. It's not going to go anywhere. Again, I put duct tape here. Now, if you want to make sure this thing is waterproof, there's a few options. You could simply take silicone, put around all the edging, or I'm going to take duct tape and just put around all the edging, and hopefully it should be fine. There's other things you could do to get creative if you wanted to do that. Maybe you could put a simple plastic bag over it like that. The problem with that is, obviously, this is going to stand out like a sore thumb to a human. Now, just a bear or something, or some other type predator, probably not. But this is going to stand out to somebody because it's reflective, it's shiny, whatever. But that's one option. There's some other options. You could build, some type of hood system. Whatever you want to do, just kind of get creative with that and figure out a way to make this more waterproof. So, what I've done is I've taken the lanyard itself and I've taken that off. Now, you could just simply cut that. I didn't. I opted to take this off, this little split ring, and so I could save my lanyards maybe for something else I could use them for. But what I'm showing here is just some simple fishing line. This is kind of a greenish color fishing line anyway, and it's older line. I don't use it anymore, but it's heavy enough poundage that I'm not worried about it breaking. And then I would simply just stick this in here. And then if you look, it doesn't take much to pop that and open it and set it off. That's one thing that's good about this. I was a little concerned about that. I thought, well, maybe you got to tug on this pretty hard. Now, what I have done, and you can use some type of electrical grease, but, something, this is just Vaseline. You can put a little bit on this little end to kind of make it a little more easier to pull. But it's grooved anyway, so it does kind of lock in place, so you're not going to mess it up. But I just wanted to have it a little more smoother, so when somebody does trip it, it's pretty easy. But again, stick it on a tent stake, and then run this other line over here to wherever you need it to. And then you can camouflage it how you want. You could put some limbs, some sticks, some branches, whatever around it or over it. You could, paint it camouflage. Whatever you wanted to do, you could get creative to do that. But anyway, guys, I am really impressed with this product, to be honest with you. I think that if you are going to do some type of perimeter system, I just kind of drew this up. So you got one in each corner. That's why I went ahead and bought 4 of them. You could have one in each corner with the trip line running all the way around, your camp's in the middle, and then if they walk through and tripped it. Now, don't always depend on perimeter alarms, and especially in the tripwire style, and the reason is if somebody times it just right, they could step over that wire by not even realizing it's there. So you know, there's probably at least a 90% chance they're going to trip it if they walk through the area, but there's a good chance that they may actually walk over it and not even trying. So if they see it especially, they can walk over it. But even if they don't see it, just because of the nature, they just get lucky and able to walk completely over the line, that could happen. So don't always depend on these, but it's at least better than nothing. But anyway, guys, if you're looking for a fairly reasonably priced security alarm to, like I said, either for perimeter or trying to secure some gear or whatever the case, take a look at these Streetwise security products, the personal protection alarm. Super loud, and I'm really glad I got them, to be honest with you. I'm pretty excited that I found them and was able to share it with you. But anyway, guys, if you like our videos, give us a thumbs up. That's always appreciated. It's down there in that section. Also down in that section is the share button. Share content. It helps us get the word about Guns and Gear Network, and it's greatly appreciated. As always, guys, like, share, and subscribe, and bring another video shortly. Have a great day.